Precious Metal Summit 2018 here in Zurich, and now we're in the late evening, and with me here is now PPX Mining and Brian Maher, the CEO of the company, who wants to give us an update. Last time we spoke in April this year. Brian, welcome again.
Great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. And so April, as I said, we spoke the last time, so maybe you can give us a little bit of an idea what happened.
Well, since April, we've made a heck of a lot of progress at our Igor project in northern Peru. Number one, me and Quintas, where we're busy building our underground mine, we've now produced over 26,000 tons of bulk sample of ore, which has been averaging a grade of 8.6 grams per ton. We also now have a stockpile over 10,000 tons. The mining's gone extremely well. We've gained a lot of information on ground stability, what we can use for ground support, et cetera. And most importantly, we're completing our pre-feasibility study, which is really going to outline the details of the economics of the project.
Fantastic. Maybe you can give us already a little bit of an indication of the pre-feasibility study?
Exactly. Of course, we've been scoping closely with Mine Development Associates, who's preparing the document, but we expect to see a project NPV at a 5% discount rate of between 50 and 60 million US dollars. But what's really going to open people's eyes, is the cash cost per ounce should be less than 700 US dollars per ounce, and the IRR on the project will be in excess of 100%.
Wow, fantastic. So when you say the cash cost of $700, that's like the AISC, or does come something in addition?
That will be the direct cash cost, but because we have such a small corporate overhead, AISC will be 750, 770. So it's looking really good for the company.
Fantastic. So in the first years, what production do you estimate?
Well, 2019 will be a ramp-up year, so we'll probably produce between 10 and 15,000 ounces. But then for the next 5 years after that, we're going to project over 20,000 ounces gold equivalent. But that's just from the perspective of today. With all the success we've been having with exploration, we plan to expand production, and the goal of the company is to get up to 50, 60, 70,000 ounces within 3 years. And so as soon as this feasibility study is done, we'll be launching on to the next phase is how do we build it? How do we make it larger? How do we improve, our production capacity?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you want to move to 50 to 70,000 ounces, can you finance it then out of the ongoing cash flow?
Well, as you heard about the number there, less than $700 per ounce, the project generates a lot of free cash for the company. So that would definitely be an option or an opportunity for us, is to finance the expansion of the project directly from cash flow.
Fantastic.
Letting us avoid debt, letting us avoid dilution, all for the benefit of the shareholder.
Great. And also, exploration you can probably finance out of the cash flow. So
we're already programming that. We really want to get the drill rigs turning again with the discovery of that large new zone at Portezuelos this year. We're seeing gold mineralization right near the surface of 2.7 grams per ton over widths of almost 70 meters. That has to be drilled out, because that truly could be a multi-million ounce discovery. We have other targets we've had a lot of success with. Tesoros is one. And when you combine that with the additional exploration we can do in the mine area around Quintas, we're really starting to unfold a district-scale opportunity in northern Peru.
Oh, and that size, fantastic. What is the CapEx to get that running?
Well, that's what's really amazing, and that's what leads to the extremely high IRR. For the mine, the CapEx is zero.
Wow.
The bulk sampling and test mining program has paid its own way.
Fantastic.
In other words, all the mine development is in place for us to be at 350 tons per day right now. So the number there is zero. The processing plant, which we use heap leach technology and Merrill-Crowe recovery so we can get the silver, the total CapEx there is about $4.5 million. We've already invested nearly $2 million.
So you're halfway done.
Yes, only $2.5 million to go, and we will be in production. Hence, the real strong IRR.
Great. And how much money is in the bank?
Right now we have about $2 million in the bank, which should be able to get us through. We're always talking to people who have a lot of interest in investing in the company, but we're just going to mind our pennies and push real hard, because in January, that plant will start processing rock for the benefit of PPX.
Wow, fantastic. Great. So 2019, there's a good chance to really move that into production, right?
2019 will be a banner year for us, because we no longer will be test mining and bulk sampling. We won't be using a second-party toll mill. It'll be our own processing facility. And then that's when we see that real strong cash flow, which will be fantastic for the company.
Fantastic. And I mean, Peru, from a mining perspective, it's still a fantastic state, right?
Fantastic place to be. I mean, you look at our neighbors. We've got Barrick to the south of us, Newmont to the north, Tahoe Resources to the east. I mean, virtually every major mining company, and that's just in the gold sector. And you start to throw in the Glencores, et cetera, on the copper side. And it's an amazing place to be. But what I see as I look out over the landscape of Peru is how much exploration opportunity is still out there. Yes. It is truly a thriving sector in terms of mineral production, but I think the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. And I mean, naming all those neighbors, your infrastructure must be phenomenal. So there are no investments from your side, right?
Oh, no. We are planning initially, for example, to use portable generators for electricity on site, but we're going to do something a little different than other companies. We're not going to use diesel. We're going to be using natural gas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, like LNG or just natural gas?
Yeah, liquefied natural gas. And the cost per kilowatt hour is down in the 4-cent range, but the air quality that we generate from them is amazing. It's like we're going to be meeting future standards by using that technology. So excited about that. But as you say, infrastructure, access to the property is fantastic. Access to a trained workforce, phenomenal. Plus, you have a culture that understands mining. Yes, you have to permit, you have to go through all the usual steps to get a project permitted, but people understand it, and they recognize that while mining does have impacts, it also has tremendous benefits to the economy, to society as a whole.
Yeah, tax payments, labor force, meaning creating jobs, and probably also taking care of what? Healthcare services, probably school, education, right?
Yeah, well, that's a good example. Our local communities, Cayanquitas, for which the mine has been named, and Igor, the project's name for that, we have committed to both communities a very, very strong program of enhancing the existing schools, hiring additional teachers, building healthcare facilities on site so they don't have to travel away from home to get healthcare. And the expansion of the educational program is important because prior to our involvement, once a child got to be 6th or 7th grade, in order to continue on to middle school and perhaps high school, they had to leave home. They had to go down to Trujillo to do that. Now they'll be able to get all the way to the beginning of high school and still stay at home.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And so, those kind of things we do for the community, I think, are huge. It goes far beyond mining. I mean, every mine ends someday and goes away, but those types of impacts can last for generations in terms of their impact on a family.
Yeah, and I mean, also, I think you are getting a very positive attitude towards your mine, towards your construction, your building, because everybody must be excited.
It's kind of fun. Been in this industry for a few years, and this kind of construction phase always has its headaches, its problems, and its issues. But when you see it actually start to work, especially when you get underground and start opening up these systems and you put your hand on the structures, on the veins, it's pretty phenomenal. And then you look at your community around you, and everybody who wants a job has a job. It starts to become something that's very collaborative to the benefit of everybody, all the stakeholders, shareholders, community members, and people that are working for the company.
Yeah, it really works out.
It really does.
Fantastic. Brian, thank you very much for the update. Outstanding. We wish you all the best. Please get it going. Go in production, meaning commercial production now. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to next April. We'll have that to report to you.
Lovely. Then I see you later. Stay there.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Brian.
Great talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was Brian Maher, the CEO of PPX Mining, and you heard it. They are full on track to really ramp up the production. Now 26,000 tons they have processed already here at the Igor project. 10,000 tons are on the how can I say that, on the storage
stockpile.
Stockpile, sorry, that was I was searching for, on the stockpile already, and they really want to go next year into commercial production, and with $750 all in costs, I mean, that looks like a real high margin business. And the plan is within the next 3 years, maybe 4 years, let's stay on a conservative side, ramping up to 50 to 70,000 ounces. So check out the company. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Zurich.